with an edge, he's chippy. Playing for the Sabres, man, it just feels like players lose a little bit of what got them there. And Dylan Cousins was probably a victim of that for a little bit, but now it just feels like he's completely revitalized and playing to his true identity with that renewed sense of purpose with Ottawa.
No, that's a great point. Someone who's been well within their identity this season, Linus Ullmark, has been a force for the Senators club as of late. How has his performance impacted the team, in your opinion, Frank?
It's so important because Ottawa's a top 10 defensive team in the NHL, so that's the foundation, that's the framework. Travis Green deserves a lot of credit for getting them there. But there are nights where you're going to get exposed, and there's going to be chances against you. And Linus Ullmark has given them goaltending that they haven't had, and it's been such a difference maker. And you go back to that game that they played a few games ago against Detroit, they absolutely deserved to lose that game. Linus Ullmark stood on his head. It was his best performance as an Ottawa Senator. They haven't had this in such a long time. And he's had his inconsistencies this year. He's had his injuries. But the fact that he's kind of catching fire here at the right time
for a tanker
for Ottawa, because listen, you can be a good defensive team all you want, but there's just going to be nights where you need your goaltender to win you a game. And going into the playoffs here, we've seen it. He has the capability to steal a game, and that's a good sign for Ottawa that he's finding that form right now.
Another good sign for Ottawa is a veteran player that they have whose game has been building. David Perron, the depth of these forwards, you could probably...
Requesting mutual aid with a tanker, 2 burglars fire on a fully involved fire. Central clear 1810.
I think that's going to be invaluable for Ottawa. How's he kind of found his game and contributed now to what the team's been up to?
County Central Dispatch, Lincoln as a fire, mutual aid to Berlin Orange for a structured fire. 3896 West Grand River, 3896 West Grand River, crosses Jordan Lake and Bliss Road. Mutual aid request to Berlin Orange with a tanker for a fully involved fire. Operating in Fire Ground 1, Central Clear 1811.
Be a pain to play against, and when they brought
Berlin Orange fire.
You guys know you've played against him. He has that, he just has that. I'm not going to call him a rat, but he has that rat-like ability.
Just be advised, sterilizing the bar and the solar lab, and there's a solar bar to the north of the structure.
And then now you have a third line.
Right, the smaller barn is larger than they said.
Watch this Matthew.
Negative, it's just an exposure at this point.
Chicago before. He's got that too. So on all 4 lines right now, you have a little bit of that agitation factor, and I think that's going a long way for Ottawa. But for Ron, is really important because last year it felt like it was all about Claude Giroux. He had to be the veteran, the voice, and having Perron that's basically seen it all in this league. That's been a nice thing, a nice luxury for them.
And for the all incoming fire units, you'll be operating in Fire Ground 1, operating in Fire Ground 1, Central Clear 1812.
Yeah, it should be a fun
Fire Ground 1.
teams, Frank. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of your time and insight. Have a great show tonight.
Thank you so much. Hey, and Brian and Jason, it's great to see you guys not in warm-up, which where I spent most of my time. So, see you guys.
That's hilarious. Thanks a lot, Frank. Well, up north of the border, guys, to the sunny shores of the Mountains, with Florida Panthers operations and Gian Vilcito.
You're in day 2 here. Take us inside.
And service with 3, operating in Fire Ground 1, 1812.
They've been great and very interesting dynamic as far as the small groups sharing a lot of different topics.
Engine 5 to route with 5, Fire Ground 1.
And then
I'm 30,
a test with regard to our opinions. For example, they showed some
I am Central,
is that not a penalty?
1206,
Why do you think it is? Why do you think it is?
Well, we have service as well, clear Fire Ground 1.
And I really think it was a
Bound from Berlin Orange,
great
Engine 1.
chance for us to make the game better.
Berlin Orange, Engine 1, go ahead.
Very virtuous way. And
We're in route with 3.
when you get into these small groups now, there's 32 teams.
In route with 3, break all incoming fire units, be advised. Ambulance on scene is advising a brush fire is starting to the west of the structure.
I didn't really count. You're around a board table, the 8 guys. There were people
We're
there
on brush fire.
people there from the situation room, referees. It was a
It's always
Like Coach 3, go ahead.
it's contentious, right? Because you guys are all competitive. These players around the net are tough, and the goalies
And route 2, 18, 14.
but we want to give the players an opportunity to score goals. I mean, it seemed like those were the ones guys were really digging into. Yeah, and it wasn't contentious. It was a room full of people who want to get it right. And if you let
bro, would you have to start across track lane?
from the meetings, it is the time, energy, and commitment that they have to getting it right.
18,
We're
14.
never going to always get everything. None of us do. But the attempt to do it, it's considered. How about the discussion? I know yesterday you guys had they presented
26, if you can bring engine 3, anybody else that comes to the station, please grab the brush truck.
A lot of guys that haven't been in the room for that long. It used to be we had guys that maybe were managers for 20, 25 years. There's a lot of newer managers that come into it. How did you like that kind of discussion about the evolution of rules regarding retail? It's almost like a recipe for a meal.
Clearly, that's advises they have 6 manpower on station. Great, we're not firing clear on that. Great.
And then that's not necessarily, but maybe
We're clear on that. Give a couple minutes, let's see what we got when we get there.
It's just
Additionally, we have a trooper and route courier ambulance on the scene. You have traffic backup on Dockers.
Any other things that stuck out to you as far as
Clear on
the first 2 days? Was mostly the focus on
1815.
Metro Park will call on.
goalie interference. So were there some other topics came up? I mean, like CBA negotiations
Call
are
on
going
the route with
on, the salary cap is going up.
Total 100, route
Things
2 at
that,
1815.
the league comes to the managers with a meeting like this.
Rush,
Yeah, there's a whole host of things that you talk about with regard to the state of the game, where we are.
Go ahead. Central, Center 401.
Ideas, little things.
Center 401, go ahead.
Yeah, from everything.
I'll be on
Which is getting
scene,
fascinating
brush
from
fire to
here
the
there.
west.
Okay, how about that?
Consumers around, power lines are down and coming down.
Marchand plays for the Florida Panthers
Soldiers
now.
are about
How
30 foot away.
where's his timeline out? What do you think he was skating at the TD Garden?
Clear on that.
I think he
We
was just
have
eager to do that because they
notified
were in
consumers.
Boston. No, I mean that for sure. Yeah. And I think that as far as when he's around the team, that's where he is. Rehab and recovery. Okay. And I think it's a couple of weeks. Okay. How did that all come together? I mean, was that late in the game? That was late, certainly in the day for us covering the trade deadline. Was that something that came to you guys late? Was it something that you reached out? Did Donnie reach to you? Yeah, in the course. So you need to appreciate how the communication works particularly at deadline day. Yeah. You'll go through, and every GM will talk to every GM. Yeah. Okay, who do you got? What do you got here? Da da da. And then you kind of circle back and like, how's it going? And it becomes sort of a, I don't know where you're at. And then at some point it came to fruition, and that was one that kind of stunned us. So when it first came up, were you surprised at all? Well, having gone through that process, I don't think so. Yeah. So okay, it's got to be a crazy day for you guys. I mean, because there's 31 other managers. It's hard to check in with everybody, but you're trying to. Well, no, you're checking over a course of time, right? Course of I don't know when it starts. Maybe it starts right after Christmas. Okay. Are you doing anything? Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. And then some guys they move early, right? Okay. Jimmy Rutherford always does his first. That's right. It's almost like an homage to Jimmy. I can't do it till Jimmy. But okay, so you get through that period, and then it's a very thorough process where literally every player in the league who deserves discussion about possible acquisition will be discussed, debated as far as that player's ability to fit a role on each club, right? Yeah. And so it's pretty thorough. And as you move forward, Connor McDavid's not being traded. It's okay. He's not. Leon Draisaitl. Right. Who's left? Like Barkov's not. So then, you're aware, and it's something that you talk about. So it's not as insane as you would think. Okay. It's a managed process over time. It's a managed process that it can evolve into almost like a rug market. Yeah. But for the most part, it's done with a background and a plan and an understanding of what it is you're trying to get and what the costs are. Okay. Well, you got ahead of it a little bit with Seth Jones. So
that was one that, you know, that's a big acquisition for you guys. Was that one, again, that started earlier, or did that kind of come to fruition quickly?
Well, again, the evaluation of the player for me, probably started when I was in Columbus.
That's right, and that's a big event. Like, you knew Seth Jones going back several years.
Right. So now, even though at least in our process, if I wanted to get the collective to say, all right, to buy in, I can't just say, well, I know him on tape.
You got to know what's going on.
Everybody weighs in. Well, you're wrong. That. It's fascinating how the process works. And I had a player a couple of years ago who I had been his agent, and we needed a player, and I said, that's the guy. Guys, I know. And the scout said, did you see him play this year? I don't have to. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
So those types of things where you even think you have your experience bias with the relationship, and you know that guy, you have to know now.
It's interesting, because I did some scouting work years ago, and I always felt like players get better and get worse all the time, every day, and you've got to be on top of that. And I think Seth's a great example, because it was tough in Chicago, and he was under difficult circumstances, so you have to kind of evaluate what was going on there and how he would fit into your group.
And so I can't even talk. Seth fits our needs, right? We needed another right shot. The size, strength, his game, the way we played with short gaps. He has the skating ability, so he keeps checking all the boxes. Where it was helpful is, I knew him as a genetic, knew him as a person, and that helps. That helps with the bigger picture that we talked about earlier. Teams win.
Well, listen, congratulations again on winning the Cup last year. Thanks for taking the time today. We really appreciate it, and good luck down the stretch.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Well done, EJ. Well, coming up next, the Rangers are going to need Will Cuylle to continue his fantastic play if they want to find themselves playing in late April. The boys head to the tape room next to break down New York's young winger.
It's rock you can feel deep down in your soul. Songs that remind us of where we've been. And inspire us to keep going. It's Sirius XM, and it's one of over 200 channels you can hear anytime with the Sirius XM app on your phone or at home on your computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
The countdown to history is on. Alexander Ovechkin, one of the greatest to ever play the game, is chasing hockey immortality. Every goal brings him closer to legend status, and Sirius XM is your front row seat to the action. Live every game, plus catch exclusive interviews with those who know him best, former teammates, coaches, and legends of the game on the Sirius XM app. The Great Chase is on NHL Network Radio.
MLB Network Radio is getting you ready for the season, talking with the best players in baseball.
Here with Juan Soto. These players, they have experience in the NL East and play New York and everything, so I think it's going to be really fun.
Joined now by Angels outfielder Mike Trout.
I know where I'm at. I know when I'm out there, you know, I still feel I'm the best player on the field, and that's the whole mindset coming in the spring. You know, enjoy it, have some fun, and, you know, play.
Hear player interviews from all 30 teams right now on the SiriusXM app. Just search Spring Training.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
If you're looking for the right franchise concept at the right time, say hello to Sparkle, not your average dog groomer. A new franchise concept that offers dog lovers quality, routine, and affordable care 7 days a week, and entrepreneurs the opportunity of a lifetime. Sparkle offers a strong, scalable business model that drives monthly recurring revenue and provides investors with the opportunity to take a bite out of a rapidly growing pet care industry. With over 200 licenses already awarded to our regional developers and franchisees, there's never never been a better time to own a Sparkle franchise in your market. Prime regional developer opportunities and franchise locations are going fast. Invest in a Sparkle grooming franchise today and get full service support from expert franchisers who know how to make business a whole lot of tail-wagging fun. Have questions or want to learn more? Visit sparklefranchising.com today or give us a call at 888-600-4491. That's 888-600-4491. Or visit sparklefranchising.com. Sparkle, not your average franchise.
In case you missed it on NHL Network Radio.
Turned it over in center. It's Thompson with speed through the left circle around Jones to the net. Shoots. He scores! What a goal from Noah Thompson! He gives the Islanders their first lead of the night. Maltz gets it back from Mata. Wrister, save, rebound, they score! There's Logan Cuylle. Welcome back, number 92.
NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Amazing save.
Tune in every week to the results of Top Shelf. Saturday, 6 Eastern on NHL Network.
Get to the tape. Let's dive into the tape. With a younger-like salute. Roll the tape. Rupp with a shot. He's got 2 goals for Mike Rupp. There we go. Tape the tape. Let's diggity dive right into the tape.
Diggity dive. As per Brian Ball's contract with the New York Rangers, we have to talk Rangers at least once or twice a week, so we're doing some Will Cuylle flowers. So, Boiler? Hey! Talk to me about Will Cuylle.
It's a big boy game.
That is Will Cuylle.
Yeah, that's Will Cuylle, bull in a china shop. This guy has been a breath of fresh air for the New York Rangers. They don't really have a mix like this. I guess, a lot of teams don't. He really is, he's starting to become, like a prototypical power forward. And like some of my favorite forwards growing up one was Cam Neely in Boston, one was Peter Forsberg in Colorado. These guys played with a lot of skill, a lot of different things. And Will Cuylle is not that yet, but he's showing some skill. Yeah, maybe, but he's a physical force. He plays in straight lines, and he's changing some of the games because of his physicality and how he wants to play the game.
Yeah, and he's a lot like Brady Tkachuk, who they're 2 of the only guys in the league that not only can produce but can hit and be physical. So
yeah, he hasn't had a ton of opportunity yet on a top power play. He hasn't been relied upon, to be that offensive driving force. But you look at his point total with the role he's been in and his hits. This is not something you see all the time, right?
There's not much of this in the league.
Right, so it's difficult to accomplish this, as evidenced by there's 2 players in the whole league that do it. And what he's been able to do game to game, especially towards the latter half of the season, he's recognized the need for it on his team, so we'll dive into it a little bit. Starting with the major one.
Catalyst.
Yeah, this was a huge play in a game when the Rangers were sort of reeling as a team, but this was such an epic hit on a top-notch player, and then what? You talk about is a fight. You talk about people getting upset. You shouldn't have to fight after you make a clean body check, a hard, clean body check. And I agree with that. You shouldn't have to. But there was no instigator penalty for Nick Hague here. This was Will Cuylle deciding he was going to impose his will on a hockey game. And does he do well in the fight?
It's a hit or miss. It's up for debate, but he did not choose peace. He chose violence.
He chose violence. And as we roll this through, you're going to see there's no instigator penalty, and for good reason. If there was
on the game,
exactly. This was just such a big hit. If there was an instigator penalty, it might have gone to Will Cuylle.
Exactly.
He comes down in the 3rd period in the Garden. This hit is so perfect.
Oh my land.
Sorry, Petro.
Sorry, not
Look
sorry.
what he did to the Garden in the place. The roof almost came off, and his gloves are off faster than Hague's.
Can you roll that back for a second? He hit Pietrangelo so hard, he gave him bangs. Because look at him, he gave him a new haircut.
There was a little contemplation going on in Petro's.
And
here's the fun stuff.
Yeah, let's break down what he can do on the offensive side of the puck, mixing his physicality with a nose for the net.
Yeah, and it hasn't gone well for the Rangers this year, so they've mixed and matched some players. Now you have Cuylle playing here with Trocheck, and this is Panarin. And you saw this right away. On the zone entry, he knows he's trying to get space. He's trying to give the really skilled, the playmakers space, because when they get space, they're going to find him closer to the net. So he enters the zone, does a little stick lift here, buys 20 feet of space for Artemi Panarin, watches it goes forward.
He's going to go there.
Roll it. He finds the late defenseman in Braden Schneider. He passes it over to Vincent Trocheck, and watch as he does here. He knows he's being checked, right? What did you say about this?
Well, not accepting the position. Right. If I'm a D-man, I'm supposed to box you out, right? So you're coming in me, I'm boxing you out. Now, you could just hold this and say, okay, you got me. Or
times you're just trying to find my stick and get it free, right?
Which most guys, but he finds the space. He pushes, so gets him off balance, and then jumps on the inside.
Right. He's tenacious about it. It's not a going through the motions type of play. This is him being aggressive. Watch as it rolls through. He does the push off. He is not letting his stick get free. He's staying loose with it. It ends up on the goal line, but he's staying on top of it. The other thing that I noticed in the offensive zone, and we'll go through this as it goes, he faces the play always. Here he is as a good option. Again, a push off. He stays out of the crease. He lifts his foot up. It was subtle, so he doesn't draw goaltender interference, because you know the goalies go down like a sack of potatoes now.
They do.
Everything gets blown dead. This isn't the prettiest goal anyone's ever going to score, but there's a reason it happens. As we roll it through,
create your opportunities.
Little pinball, dink, doink, off the head, in the net. But it happens because he does the right things. He's always an option. If there's a low cycle play, he's first touch. As soon as it goes high, he's determined to get to it. This is just his speed he plays with. He plays in straight lines in a great finish.
And that's a skill. And then he does not care. He'll hit anything, even a net.
He'll run right in the net. And he's aggressive, he's abrasive, and he has a little scoring touch to him as well. He sees this in worst case scenario that gets kicked out to the guy driving back post. But that is the shot now, right underneath the glove and over the pad.
Now, we got to roll this back.
Roll this one.
Roll this back, because I couldn't believe this when I saw it. He's looking like a young Jeff Skinner here. Let's roll it forward from here. Look at the 10-2 by my man, Cuylle here. Look at the 10-2, shaking up Cole Sillinger. Look at this, like he owes him gas money, and then he just sling it to the net. You talked about it. You talked about slicing yesterday.
Yeah.
This is slinging the puck to the net. You don't have anything. You see right here, leave it here. He recognizes you have two Rangers forward ahead of the two Columbus Blue Jackets D-men. So what do you got to do? Get the puck by, because this D-man's taught to front. Get it by that first, even the second layer, which he does. You see first layer, second layer. He's going to get it by both, and you're going to create offense off of this. You might score. Both Rangers players going to the net. Roll it forward.
Yeah, roll it.
And this is just, that's a great goal. That whole sequence of him protecting the puck, which you're big on.
Yeah, and he holds it, he holds it, he holds it. He's too strong for Cole Sillinger. He's too strong, but he takes it into middle ice. He's not, it's a certain confidence that he's playing with when he carries it through, fights off a check, and brings it right into middle ice. That is something that you learn as you get older. Some kids just have it. I mean, you've seen the skill level in the league now.
Yeah.
But he's trusting his own body. He's trusting what his skill set is, and he's playing to those strengths. Now, I've seen a lot of that with Chris Kreider. Maybe they've worked together and he's taught them, especially stuff around the net. But you have more guys like that. That's what hard to play against is. Physically finishing every check, but also holding on to pucks and making Cole Sillinger work, or making whoever the defenseman is work to try and get it off of your stick. That's hard to play against. They have more of those shifts from that line, or from Cuylle, or other guys sort of take a lead, or take his lead and apply that to their game. They'll be a tougher team to play against, and it'll work out well for the Rangers.
Well, sometimes you just gotta play.
Oh, jeez Louise.
Come on.
How'd you fall there?
You're a strong guy. He's like Cuylle. He's big like Cuylle. But hey, let's take a trip around the NHL from last week with Norwegian Cruise Lines, providing best clothes of the week, my hip, and all the good vibes we can handle.
Now to break it, press to the middle, shooting, scores!
Is an outstanding shot up the middle, sprinting Cadry, oh, huge shoot, scores! Highlight goal for Cadry, brings the Flames fans to their feet. It's McDavid and Draisaitl for the victory. He scores! Leon Draisaitl! Overtime! Back to the play.
Barry deflection try. Tip in for the Canadians. The chase continues. Johansson the move and scores! Just his second NHL goal. It's a beauty from Albert Johansson. Cuylle on the slot. Cuylle shoots and scores! Cuylle the car! Wins it in overtime. He does it all himself.
All right, look at that. We got Ovi. The grade 8 has been great of late, and so is his Capitals team. Got that and a lot more. There's Tom Wilson, what a matter. And you got some hits. Physicality. Ice pass up next.
Goals of the Week is presented by Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. The official cruise line of the NHL.
Catch every gargantuan goal, every seismic save, plus reacts from our experts. On the fly, on NHL Network.
At Consumer Cellular, we pride ourselves on getting you the exact same nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. But don't worry, we've got a lot more than that going for us. Woo! Like this beautiful store in Arizona, for example. It's the perfect place for me to tell you a little bit more about our phones and how they can become your phones. You name it, and we probably got it. We have the top smartphones from all the major companies. If it's state-of-the-art cameras you want with space-age metal housing, we got them. If you want a smartphone with lots of bells and whistles but won't break the bank, we've got that too. We even have flip phones like the Iris Flip. If you're someone that doesn't need all that mumbo-jumbo and just wants something simple. And now, we even have watches.
We do.
No matter what device you choose,
I'm Katie Nolan, and I have a new podcast called Casuals. It's a podcast for people who like sports a normal amount. Casuals is a twice-a-week hang with me and my friends from across comedy, sports, and entertainment, where we talk about all the funny, weird, interesting stuff happening in and around the world of sports. So whether you're a diehard fan or just vaguely sports curious, Casuals is the podcast for you. You can find Casuals on the SiriusXM app, Pandora, or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Give it a try. What's the worst that could happen?
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Your leaders are Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellar. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-295-7144. 800-295-7144. Again, that's 800-295-7144.
1877 Cars for Kids.
Cars for Kids accepts all kinds of real estate donations. Turn your challenging or unused property into a brighter future for kids and get a tax deduction for the full appraised value of your property. Visit carsforkids.org or call today. That's Cars for Kids Real Estate.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your real estate.
The biggest plays.
Fakes. Save. Samsonov. Timing gets
Goals.
Point. Score.
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
And the best analysis on the air.
It's got to be the coach then. Like, if they're waiting on something, like, what significant change you going to make?
The NHL on SiriusXM.
Hear every team and your hometown call.
NHL Network Radio.
SiriusXM 91.
Game slate here on this Tuesday evening. Let's take a look at some of the notable ins and outs. Zach Hyman.
Becky's back.
What about that beard? That's a solid, like...
Let's see how this looks.
Border Viking ginger beard.
Ragnarok.
Northern Sweden.
I know, I like that. Okay, guys, so we have a look here. Want to do some ice baths?
Sure. Aliev out for the season. Connor Garland, too. Let's go, Gar. Get in there. Play her. I need you.
This is just incredible how he continues to score. I've never seen him die so hungry. See a guy that's highly, highly motivated. Holds in 4 straight outings. He comes back to the bench, is asking if he can go out again.
Cellular Ovechkin! And Ovechkin now 15 away. Number 81 for his career.
The great chase continues tonight as Alex Ovechkin is just 8 goals away from surpassing the great one's all-time record. Hard to believe. So we continue talking about it. He'll have a chance to do it tonight. I mean, if he gets 8 goals in one night, but at least chip away at it tonight as the Caps host the Red Wings 7 p.m. puck drop at Capital One Arena, the third and final meeting between these two. This marks the rubber match, too, of the season series. A lot of fun. Obi, this is a stat we talked about earlier in the show. 13 goals in his last 14 games against Detroit, 2 of which were hat tricks. Boiler, how are we feeling about his chances tonight?
I'm feeling good. Feeling great, actually.
Oh.
I'm feeling good and great. I think he's going to have a night.
How's your shoulder? That's right. Very good.
I didn't even feel that.
Okay, anyway.
Go down.
Well, more importantly,
You took the time.
These fans, get out of the way.
I didn't get the call. But somebody that's not talked about a lot, and Brandon Faust in the back brought this to my knowledge, but I already knew it, as Alexis Protas has been probably the most improved player in the NHL this year.
Plus like 50, isn't he? Plus
yes,
40?
he has been everything. As the people are talking about his contract this offseason, saying why he signed, This is why he signed. Rush it, go fast.
0 power play goals. 0
At 27 of his 29 goals this season have come even strong.
I love
Yeah. Did you know there's 2 of them?
There's 2 of them. They don't break. There's a brother.
They have a brother, Ilya, drafted in the 3rd round as well. Also 6'5".
In Washington?
Yes.
What?
There's 2 of them.
This team is, we love this.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. The better the radish. No turnip. Radish.
All right.
That was the first dad joke of the day.
Yeah.
Well done.
Caps 9-1-2 at home against the Detroit Red Wings.
All right.
Historically. So, history repeats itself, as we know.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Detroit did dominate Vegas on Sunday. Peter Mrazek had 18 saves, 3-0 win. I was watching the end of that one. Detroit still kind of barely hanging on. 4th wildcard spot, 70 points. Yes, you over there in the green jacket?
I have a question for you. Peter Mrazek, do you think it was the goalie to go get at the deadline?
I don't know if there were other options. Peter Mrazek was very good for the Detroit Red Wings when they had the Kyle Quincy's, the Jonathan Ericssons, the guys that just mauled you in front of the net because he's a very aggressive goalie and he'd make that first save. And if you wanted to go on the back door, it didn't matter because they would bear hug you and you couldn't get free.
Yeah,
so he was very aggressive, and if you have stingy net front defense, Peter Mrazek is a great pickup. We'll see how
shakes out.
What about this little pup, Lucas Vermont?
A stud.
He's been great. I mean, he's always great, but he's been probably their most consistent forward all year long.
He was right. He was a 10-game goal drought, but he snapped that on Sunday in that win. Leafs Wings with 4 points to your point in the matchup against Washington this season.
3-point. Yeah, there you go.
D-Boss.
3 assists.
Nylon.
D-Boss.
You love D-Boss.
Listen, if they want to make this Stanley Cup, where's the guy? Where's the gosh darn sheet? There it is.
Well done.
This is the best sheet of all time. Their upcoming games. They have a tough schedule upcoming, so they got to get it going.
I mean, no easy games.
No easy. There's a couple easy games.
Yes.
Not when you're playing Arbor Jack Kyle.
Yeah.
Ben's Habs. That's your boy right here.
It's not very nice.
Talk to Frank the Tank about him. You don't like? It's not nice.
I got to talk to him.
Tell me more.
He's not.
I got to talk to him in the room while I was covering their game.
Okay, that's good. He's mean, but in a good way.
Awesome kid. Like,
where do you used to work? Target? Where did he work?
Yeah, he works at like a Target or something around there. Costco? Target.
Really?
Yeah, he's working at a Costco. And
yeah, it was stacking boxes.
I love that. Those are the
His boss was like,
stuff.
stop playing hockey. What are you doing? You have a job. He's like, oh.
He's like, I'm going to be in the National soon, and I don't know.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that's, I mean, his come-up story is
I
incredible.
love that. By the way, 37 more penalty minutes than the next teammate.
You need that, though. He's like kind of the unhinged, the wires get crossed. They need that. Gallagher has a little bit of that as well as like the spark. We talk about Cadillac.
Yeah.
He's not 6'5", but he's a dog on a bone.
Goal Caulfield.
Nicely said. Nuts game winner added an assist on Saturday. Points in 9 of his last games played.
He has to score. That's what he does. That's what he brings. He has to score.
That line, that first line to Frank Corrado's point has been buzzing. They're just off the charts and so fun to watch them last game at home in Montreal. The Montreal fans are now fully behind. They see the playoffs. They see it coming. I mean, this is going to be such a fun game to watch tonight. Playoffs out the...
Wazoo?
I was going to say Wazoo. I didn't know.
What?
TV.
Did we just
Wazoo? Well, look at Claude Giroux. You just saw David Perron. There is a healthy amount, again, Frankie Corrado said this, there's a healthy amount of veteran leadership now where when you go through those stretches that Ottawa's been known to go through, there's more voices pulling the rope in the right direction instead of, everything kind of falling apart.
Would you put Hamonic and Shabbat in that as well? I would say veteran status.
He is, but he's been just there, right? So Hamonic, the guys that have been around a little bit, you can get sort of tell them the other things that you've seen through